again. How are you all doing? Just want to say to all my regular subscribers, hello, big hugs, virtual hugs, and to all my new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I hope you find a lot of inspiration here and have a lot of fun. So just wanted to say that to you all, and I'm very excited to say that when I woke up this morning I had reached the 2,000 subscriber milestone. So thank you everybody so much. I couldn't do that without you, so thank you for all that love and support. So we'll have to be thinking of a new challenge at some point. I'm going to wait a little bit for the postal service to resurrect itself, but I'm going to have a think along those lines. Today I thought I'd bring you some more inspiration, hopefully. I'm still working on some envelope ideas. I do love envelopes and I like to do different things with them. Not to say that this is any unique idea. I'm sure many people do similar things, but as always, this is just my take on various ideas that I think of or pick up or am inspired by many people. So what I thought I'd do is I was going to take a mail envelope like this. I like this, got a lovely big window. I'm going to use that. It's got a little bit of an opening here, and I've sort of patchworked it on the front. And on the back we've got a window, and I'm going to alter this slightly. Again, more patchwork going on here and clustering, and then and we've got a inside where we've got some more patchwork going on here, a little glassine bag with a tag, and then there are just some journal cards, one up the top there and one on the side there. So come and join me. We'll do this quickly together. And this would make a lovely insert into a middle of a signature or into your journal. So that's what I'm going to do there. I've been doing a lot of things with envelopes. I'll show you another thing. Here's another example where I'm going to use this as a cover for a journal, like a sort of a wraparound smaller cover. So we've got again the patchwork here with an envelope. Journal card slides up like that, and then on the back it's got more patchwork there. It's lined and it's going to go around this journal that I'm busy constructing here. So if you want to see how I'm going to be making this, please let me know in the comments. This is just a work in progress. I'm going to do things on the inside and everything here, so you don't have to put an envelope inside your journal in the signatures. You might want to use it as a wraparound to go around here and then have a tie that holds it all together. So it's just a different stance on that. So let me talk you through how I put this together, and then you've got something else to do today. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is one of these mailer envelopes. And like I said to you before, in my last envelope that I did, that exciting envelopes tutorial, if you don't have one, you can make a window yourself. Whether you cut that out of pieces of paper, you make this up yourself, take a standard one. Don't be afraid to deconstruct an envelope. I am going to cut down the one side here. I do slip my mailers at the top like this, so that I can use these, but you know, it all depends on you. I do save all of these because I like to use them. I'm going to cut down here, so because we're going to have a journal card fit in there, and we're going to have one fit in there, so that's what I'm going to do. But see what you've got, you know, and just adapt it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut down the side here, and that's going to give me access to be able to place something behind this window here. So let me grab my ruler. I did bring the scissors up because I'd left both pairs downstairs, but we have a pair up here now. I'm going to use my knife. I'm going to take a thin slither off the edge here. But of course you can use a pair of scissors. You don't have to use a knife. I just find this easy. and very straight. All right, so I've taken off a piece there. So we have an opening there and we have an opening up here. Now what I'm going to do is I just want to neaten that edge off, because I did just slit it with a kitchen knife when I opened the post. So an ever so thin slither, just to make it neat. There we go. All right, so that's what we've got there. So now we're able to get into this part of the envelope and stick something behind there, so that when you pull your journal card out, you're not going to see the normal envelope pattern. So let's think. I want something pretty muted, so I've got a pile of scraps here next to me, quite a pile. You can see they do all match. So the journal that I'm working on, this is the color scheme that was going in that signature. So what I need to do now is just find a piece to go in there. That's pretty muted. Let's see, what have I got? Yeah, I could take this. This is pretty muted if I take that area there. So what do we need? We need a piece just to fit behind here, and not completely, because we're going to cover up some of this. So it's not the end of the world. We don't need it to be overly big. So I'm going to just take my fingers and I'm going to just go like that. And we want to make sure that we hit it a little bit over and then straight down. You're not going to see this, it's going to go inside, so that will do the job. Now before let's just see if that's going to cover most of it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I want to put a butterfly in there, and I think it's because we're going to stick with the sort of aqua turquoise blues. I'm wanting to put one of those aqua turquoise blue butterflies on there. So I've got one that I thought would work, and I'm going to stick that on there. So let's just see how that would work nicely. I'm not going to stick it yet. I'm going to stick that once I've patched up the front, so I can centralize it. So that's what we have over there, and I'm going to put that aside. Now what I want to do is fold this in half. Fold it in half so we know which side is which and where the middle is. So don't worry that you're going to have this bit go slightly over, because we're going to cover some of that, but just get it sort of in the middle. And this side as well, and then this bit here, it is taking strain, but that's all right, because we're going to cover that up. Just get it folded. All right, so now at least we know that's for that side, that's for that side. We're going to put a strip down there, so that's not a crisis at all. So what we want to do now is start covering up with the scraps that we have. So let's see, I've got this nice aqua blue invoice, which is one of my own that I've scanned, and I do love it because it's the kind of colors I like. So I scanned it in, so I use it a lot. That's that. Then I want to put some other bits and pieces around. So what else do I have here? I have got a bit of that. Or let's see, that might be good for this side, really. Yeah, so I'm just using my fingers for this. And that could go here. Yeah, that's all right. And then we want to get some, I'm trying to keep it in between the creams and the blues. So what else have I got here that I can draw on? Lots. It's decision time. Right, so let's see, on that side I'm going to put quite a big piece. Let's make it more this way, like that. Yeah. We just break this like this. Okay. Again, use your fingers. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. If I do it this way, then I don't get so much white. So how are you guys coping there? Anybody hidden in the toilet yet for peace? Honestly, I used to do that when my children were younger, and they were very busy kids, and I just never used to give me peace. Even if I went in the bathroom, they were hounding me. So I used to go to the toilet, because then they thought, okay, well, that's a safe zone. Nobody's going to harass me there. Right, I just want to make a quick little mark here. So I think that's about it. Just to get this right for the bottom. Again, I've got it the wrong way. Oh, I'm so excited because I have been marking and doing online lessons and all sorts of things the last 2 weeks from home. And you know, you think that you at home you're going to do less. I have been inundated with stuff to do, and I'm so looking forward to today, this afternoon, because then I'm on holiday, and I honestly, for once in my life, I'm having that holiday, and I'm not going to be answering any requests for college work or student queries. Honestly, not. I just need to relax. I really do. I'm sure most of you guys probably feel the same way. Right, need to bring in a little bit more of the turquoise. So I've got some of this here. Let's I think that would be good on that side, really. So if we do that across there. Oh, yeah, that's it. We can also use the tear ruler, if that's easy for you. So that can go across there, that's good. It's like making a quilt, this is, you know, just like making a quilt. I think I'm going to cover that up there. Right, happy with that. Now what I want to do is I want to just tear a piece off here. Use that for something else, and then I'm going to take off another piece. This is one of the Artymaze pages, and it's one of my all-time favorites, purely for the colour. And I'm going to put that on the end there. So let's take that off there, like that. That'll go over the top there, and I think I'm going to just put this on the other side as well. Like that. That's just a little bit short, but okay, so that side's coming together, and now it's just a case of doing this side a little bit. Let's find some other bits here. I've got lots and lots of scraps. I'm indecisive. So let's just see. Oh, we're going to have a bit like that. You can make these pieces as big or as small as you fancy. So, you know, the sky's the limit here. That's there, that's there. That's there. We'll put a piece like that. Not far to go, just a little bit there. I think that one will just make it a bit longer. So. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that. I want to put something on here other than what is there. So I want a little bit more script or something, I think. And I do have a piece of I've got this. I love this. I just want to find, let's do that. And then make my life difficult by making it thinner. Because that's what you do, you know, you want things a certain way. Right, so let's just take that bit off as well. Okay, sorry about that. That was my alarm that went off because it is really early. I'm only meant to be waking up now. But for some reason, I just couldn't sleep after 3:30 this morning. So I have been up for hours and hours. And after trying to fall asleep for an hour, I decided, no, I'm getting up. I can go and do something else. So I played a bit of the Tetris game. And then I put my audiobook on because I'm listening to Outlander. I don't know if any of you listen to Outlander. I love Outlander. So I'm on book 7 for that, and they are fat books. I've got the actual books and the audiobooks. So when I'm crafting in here, I listen to my audiobook and I can craft at the same time. So I find that a win because I can maximize my time. Right, I think that looks quite good. I need a little bit of something at the top there, and I think I'm just going to stick another piece of this up there. Really a little piece in the corner like that, and I think I'm just going to stick that over there like that, and that'll block that all up. So I'm going to glue this down, so I won't bore you with all of that. I'm going to speed that up, and then you can just see what I'm doing. But I pretty much like what I've got there. I might add another piece of that on this side, I might. Alright, so let's do that. The way I glue it down is I look at what's underneath. And there we go. So I quite like the colours and the look of that, and the mixture between the aquas, the scripts and the creams and the neutrals. So I quite like that, and that's all from scraps that I have on the side here. So really happy with that. Okay, now what we need to do now is we've got a clear view of the size of our window, and remember we've got this that we want to place, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this down, and then I'm going to stick this on top of that. So I'm going to stick this, if I open it up, against the window like that, so that my journal card can still slide down through there. So what we want to do is we want to stick this on. Let's just have a quick mosey here. So if I stick that there, this is going to be a trial and error goodie. First thing I want to do is just I like to edge the butterflies, as you know, because when you do this, it just takes all the white away. And I say that a lot, but it is a great tip because I like to have it a very clean, neat image that you don't have lots of white showing. Okay, so there we go. So we'll put that there. So let's get this pretty much in the middle there, and then we can stick that against the window. So like that. Okay. And then I'm going to stick it smack bang in the middle. Hopefully that's perfect. And now it's a case of finding where exactly I want this placed. So it's just centralizing it like that to see, okay, that's where I want it. And once I've got it where I want it, I'm holding it. And this becomes tricky because you don't have all the sides open, but just hold this up and stick the glue on one of the sides. Just go round without going over the window section. So I'm going to do that side first. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm lifting up the various sides and just sticking that down. So if I go like that, and I'm just putting a thin bead of glue around there and around the edge of this paper so that's not going to move. There we go. That is a bit awkward, but we don't want the journal card to get stuck on the edges. So there we go, we've got that stuck in place. And that looks so pretty. I love that. Okay, so that's there now, and when that dries, it's not going to get caught on your journal card. That is stuck down now. Alright, your journal card will still be able to slide from the top there. The other ones are going to come in from the side there. We will close that up. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I want to just give this a little bit of a stitched edge. Now remember, that's got to be an open side and that's got to be an open side, but that's not, and this isn't. So what I'm going to do now is quickly I'm going to just slip this a little bit, a little bit, just so that I can move this down and stitch across here without catching the back. All right, we are going to stitch along here in a minute and there, because I just want to stitch this little bit there so that I can still fit my journal card in. So let me do that in a couple of steps and then you'll be able to see what I'm meaning. So I'm going to start off by just going, moving this flap down and stitching just up to there. All right, in fact, yeah, up to there, and then we'll deal with the back afterwards, because we've got to first do the back there. So just do that quickly. Bend that down for a bit. Doesn't matter if it's bent because you're covering it. So I think it'd be easier just to bend that for a minute, just so that you know you're not going to catch it in the sewing machine. Alright, so I've done that one at the back there, so that can fold back up. We're still going to cover the back there, and then we'll do a shorter double stitch row just on that section. But at least that's there. Now here again, let me just grip this bit here. We're gonna sew along here with moving this back piece out, because we're gonna put a journal card in there. So let me do that bit next. There we go. All right, so you've got those bits there. We will come around and sew the other bit once we've put the bits on the paper on the back. So leave that like that for the minute. All right. It's just that we can't sew those two together. This we will sew again when the back's on. So we've got to do a similar thing. Right, ladies. Now what we want to do is, that's looking really pretty so far, isn't it? What we want to do now is the back bit here. So I need to find some papers to put on the back over here. Now on this side I'm going to put this little thing here. So I'm going to get a big piece here and just put little patches in places. So what I'm going to do is, I have got one over here, and I'm going to cover this whole area first of all with this piece, and then I'm going to put some patch stuff on. So nice, I love these colours, it's just my fave. Right, so we go in there, we go over here, there we go. So that's looking awesome. Let's just take that out of the way. So this should fit on the back here, like that, pretty much, yeah. Before I do that, I just see I've got a couple of bits there that are extending just a bit too much. So I'm just going to quickly trim those down like that. There we go. That's better. Right, so now we want to stick this on the back here. So let's do that quickly. This is my document again, and I just want to put, I do use this a lot, and if I knew how to make a digital of it, I could, but I don't, so sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have that over there. That'll cover up, bring some more blue onto that side. And then I'm going to take a bit of my Edith Holden, and this is like the index bit. Yes, I do. I'm crazy like that. But this is about using your scraps, you know. We might, I doubt we ever get to the bottom of scraps, but you know, scraps are your friends, so that's what I say. So I quite like that. And then I had, I wanted a Tracy Fox label on there. I think it's easier to decide on which label you want, because at first I used to think, oh, cut them all up, but then I've got to go through too many to see what it is that I actually want. Where with this, all the sizes and things are available, and this is easier for me. So, oops, a little bit over there. Sorry for the coughing. Okay, so we're just going to take this. I'm going to do a very quick little bit there, and I think that will just finish it off if I have something like that over there. So I'll just do a little bit of an ink down quickly. So what, this one goes underneath first, so we'll do that. There we go, so there's that side done. And now what I'm going to do on this side is, before I do that, I am going to just stick, I'm going to do the stitching, and then we're done with the stitching on this. So what I want to do here again is, I want to stitch across there, and stitch across there. So I'll do that in, no, I'm not opening, so I want to stitch across there and there. So let's do that quickly. So I've stitched across up there, and I've stitched across there. Now we need to just make sure, and this is where I'm going to take my little pegs. This side needs to be open, so I don't want to stitch there. And on the other side, this side needs to be open, so I don't want to stitch there. Right, now I know I've got to stitch there and I've got to stitch there, so I'm going to do that quickly. There we go. Now we know we haven't sewn where we shouldn't sew. So we still have our pocket there, and that's for that side, and we're still able to have a pocket in there for that side. So now what we want to do is we want to just make sure before I go any further that I don't have any overhang that's just too much. And I see I have got a bit here, so I'm going to just take my ruler, and it's more on the one side than the other. So just want to take that off because I don't want the white shining through. So there, that's that gone. That all looks fine on that side. We've got a bit over here, so we just take that off. Oops. Scrunch that up a bit. Obviously need to get a sharper blade, but that's fine. We just take the scissors and trim that off. That's better. Okay, so I'm happy with all of that. That's looking fabulous. Okay, so now all that we need to do is just finish off this side quickly. So what I did there was I took a little bag, one of these little glassine bags. I think this one is 7 centimeters by 12. So that's I'll get my other wonky ruler out. I think it's 2 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that's the measurements for that. So I take one of these. I'm just going to put that to the side quickly, and then what I did was I wanted it to be not so white, so I took my distress ink and my my little makeup brush, and I just rubbed it on here and just discolor that a bit, just so that it's not so, you know, white. So you can do this with any ink that you have, really, antique, photo, whatever it is that you have. In fact, I think I'm going to go with this one. This one's a bit pale. This is just a bit darker, ever so a little bit more darker. So do it on the back, that'll shine through. And then we can do a little bit on the front as well. So I suppose I could have tea dyed it, but I haven't, so this is the way to deal with it for me. Right, it does dry, so that's all we need to do, really. Okay, and then what I want to do here is I want to put in my, I'm going to make it put a tag in here, but I want to just decorate this because this is a bit boring. So all I've done here is I've taken a scrap of paper that's about just over an inch. Yeah, it's 1 3/4 inches wide, and you want to be able to put this around this bag. Then I've just taken another scrap that matches half the thickness of that, and I'm going to stick that in the middle, and I'm going to do that quickly. So that's all I've done there. I've just taken from that scrap pile quickly, and you can, oh sorry, things flying all over the table. No, I don't need to do that because more in the middle. We're going to wrap this around. You're not going to see the back, so I just want to do a little bit there. I'm not going to really see much of this either. But just to get rid of that white again. On this side. Okay, so that's going to go there. We want to stick this in the middle. Could have used the press stick, the Uhu stick, if you want. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to be sticking this around the bag. So let's just put on some of that and lift up your bag. Gauge the where you want it, like that, maybe a bit lower, and then just wrap that around your bag like that. Yeah, and the side. Don't worry if it doesn't match, because you're not going to see it. Okay, there we go. So there's all of that done. Like that. Okay, now what I want to do is Jody gifted me these beautiful bees that she stamped on this lovely, I think you must have tea dyed this, Jody. I've trimmed this one and frayed it a bit lower, it was a bit high, but for this purpose. So I love that. I thought that could go perfectly in the middle there. So thank you for these, Jody. I love them. And I didn't see them initially in your pack that you sent me. But don't put too much glue in these things, because thin material, it'll show through, it'll come through. So you want to really put as little as you have to on that. So there we go, that's coming together nicely. And then Gina from the Firefly, she gave me this beautiful Irish linen, which I absolutely adore. And I'm going to make a little bow around here. So that's going to be here. Pull it quite tight. That's too loose. I think it's best to make a knot first. Right, let's just get that where I want it. Make a knot first. Right, that's better. And now I can make a bow. Just move that where I want it, right. So let's just cut that off. And that's gorgeous stuff, that. And then we would want to take that off there. Something was catching on me. Right, so we've got a lovely bow there now. So look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, so we want to just make this a bit... whole desk is shaking. Right, so there we go. We've got that all ready. So now what we want to do is we want to stick that over here like that. So we're going to stick the glue on the back of the glassine bag. So use a good glue. I don't think that the glue stick's gonna do it for me today with this bit. So I'm going to put this all down, and I'm going to line that string up how I want it before I stick this down. And in the middle, all over. Right, before I stick that down, is that where I want that? I think so. Let's just move that up a bit. Right, and then we can stick that over there like that. So there you can see now it's looking a little bit yellowed because I've put ink on it and it's dry already. So that's the beauty of that. And we'll use the bone folder just to go inside there and get that nice and ready. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little word over there. So I'm going to go back to this. I've got another sheet. Printed another sheet. Yeah, I've got a new one because I like the words on here. This is from Amity Bloom. And she's got some, I like that. May friends gather about. Let's do that one. Right. Okay, may friends gather about. So I think that might be a bit long for what I wanted. Let's just work out where the middle is again. So right, that's it. I wouldn't worry about that because it's going into your spine and you're not going to see it. So that's looking fabulous. And now I can see if this is going to be, oh, it'll just work. So that's all right. I'm going to just ink this up a bit. Just take off the white edges. Yeah, this page has got some beautiful words on, so I like to just tear it and tear out the individual words sometimes. So that'll look really good over there. I think I want it just off center. Cool, so we'll stick that down. I get bored with just having the Edith Holden words or my stamp words. I just want variation. So this is a good one. Let's do that there like that. Yeah, that looks lovely. And I think, just because I'm never know when to stop, I'm going to put one of these little flowers on there. These are from Hobbycraft. Okay, so let's just put a bit of glue on there, and of course that's way too much glue on there. Just trying to balance out the sides. Not that in your journal you'd even see it, because you wouldn't, but just balance it out a bit. So I'm going to take this, make it a bit narrower, like that. There we go. When I get frustrated, that's what I do, and it's not the right look, but who will know? Just take the white off. There's not much, but I just like doing that, right? And then that will look really nice just over there with just a tiniest touch of something like that. Okie dokes. And then let's just stick that down. And then we'll just stick this bit. Now, normally I don't just glue it. I first decide where I want it, but I'm going to put I'm going to have to put it this side. Right, so there we go. That's everything there. What do you think of that? Yeah, you like it? Can you see? Okay, so all I've done now to do is, and you'll be glad to know I've made a tag already. So if you want to see how I make my tags, I've got a tag tutorial, so I'll link that below and you can see how I do these. And then that's just going to slide in there like that. So that looks really pretty. Everything there is how we want it. And then normally I would just stitch down the middle there. So let me quickly do that. And I just want to take a bit of a pencil line just so I can see where it is. Very light. Okay, so there we've got that sorted. and I will cut off all these little bits with my very sharp scissors. So we have got our opening here, sorry, and we've got our opening there. So all I want to do now is I'll just use the cards from this one, and you can just make a standard journal card. The way I do it is I put my ruler in there to see how far down it needs to go, and I don't make it a lot deeper than 15, well, this is centimeters, and the same with the width. You can easily work that out. So I measure it, and I know I don't want to be going over 11. In fact, I want to be doing it narrower. So that's how I would do that. So it's just a case of slotting in your journal card here. All right. And then, of course, one on the other side as well. So that will go in like that. All right, so there we have our finished altered mailer. Isn't that pretty? With a little flower and the little details and a bit of a mock patchwork there. But we have a proper patchwork on that side. And that would look amazing in your journal. In fact, I think I'd probably end up putting another little label, maybe one of those Tracy Fox labels there. All right, so ladies, I love the butterfly. Look, that when you take the journal card out, the butterfly doesn't move. So that's like a false front there, like a shop window front, really. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed that with doing that with me today. There's the inside of that one, which is, I think, this one's better. Oh, I forgot to put a flower on, and I did have a flower for this. That's what's missing there. So I put a side of flower, which I thought could go over there. Do you think so? Yes? No? That side? So let's just stick that on. I'm not sure if I want it. I think I want it there. Right, so let's do that. Sorry, that's the last bit. I knew there was something missing on this panel. Just looked like it needed something. But I think this is it. Okay, so if we put that down there nicely, we just put it around the word and press all the sides down, and that can dry nicely. I think that's beautiful. All right, so there we have it. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's inspired you and given you something else to make today. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.